The new album comes out September 18th, and it's called Threat to Survival. You've said that this is the most autobiographical album that the band has come out with because of all the personal scenarios that each song is about. Is there a particular song that you can give us a little background into the personal scenario that inspired it?
Wow, you've done your homework. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Threat to Survival, it has 11 songs on it, and there are really 11 scenarios, and they are quite autobiographical. It's not a concept record by any means, but it is quite personal. It's tough for me to pinpoint exactly one specific song because they're all different situations that either myself have been through or were going through at the time of the recording of the album or that the guys in the band were going through. But I can talk about one song in specific, which is a song on the record called How Did You Love? And the way that song was written, sometimes when you're in the writing process of a record, you'll get what we call a gift. And a gift is a song that is written within 20 to 30 minutes. Oh, wow. And on top of that, the day that How Did You Love was written, because it was a gift, because it was written in about, I wouldn't say it was as quick as 30 minutes, but within the hour, we had the premise of the song already laid out. But we also call, once you're going into a session with each other and you're looking at a blank sheet of paper from a notebook when you're writing lyrics, I'm the main lyricist in the band, we call that staring down the beast, which, you know, if you don't have an idea, you're just looking at white paper and you're like, you've got to figure out what you're going to talk about. But How Did You Love is one of those songs that for some reason I had this epiphany, if you will, that, you know, if you're given the gift of life, the one thing that is inevitable is you will pass away eventually. And I think sometimes people get lost in that idea that their time is limited, and it can become a very negative emotion that can kind of wrap around people and really put them in a bad mood, especially depending on what they're going through in their own life. But the goal for How Did You Love was, I think, to understand that even though that, yes, if you're born, you will eventually die, but what did you do in the meantime before that happened? In the middle of your life, what was your legacy? What did you leave behind? And the song is called How Did You Love, but it really refers to how did you live your life? What do you want people to remember about you? Did you love more than you hated? Did you give more than you took? I think that it was a song that I know personally for me, I had to really look at myself in the mirror and ask myself that question. If I was to pass away tomorrow, what would people say about me? You know, how did I live my life? And it really kind of made me open my eyes to the fact that, you know, every single day that we're given life with our friends and our family and being in this world, it truly is a gift. So don't waste time. Start living your life.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to hear the song now. I'm excited. September 18th could come a little sooner, in my opinion. Cut the Cord. Now, this song was released and immediately flew up the active rock charts to #1. What is this particular song about?
Cut the Cord is really about just, there were a lot of different points of view in that song and how the quote-unquote, I wouldn't call it the aggressive nature of the vocal and the music was presented. It was more of the confidence that was presented in that song. But it's about anything in your life personally that would wrap around you and kind of drag you down or keep you down or be unmotivating. You know, anything that was keeping you from going after not only the life that you wanted to have for yourself, but that you felt was a negative influence on you to just, if it's wrapped around you, cut it loose.
Well, one of the catchiest parts in the song for me personally is the kids that are singing the freedom, follow me. Where did you come up with this idea, and who are the actual people that are singing?
It's very interesting because it's not kids. That's why you asked the question.
Yeah.
It's actually Eric Bass, who's our bass player, and a young lady that he has known since she was a little girl. And she's like 17 years old now, but she actually was the girl in the song Her Name is Alice that we did for the Alice in Wonderland movie a few years back for Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. But it's actually a combination of Eric and this young lady who's now, she's grown up and she's almost, you know, an adult. But it's a combination of the two of them. And the reason Eric's on it is because Eric actually was the producer of Cut the Cord. He produced that song as long as myself and him wrote the song. But he engineered the song as well, too. Because on Threat to Survival, there's actually 4 producers on the record and there's 8 mixers. But in answer to your question, it's a combination of Eric and this young lady that we've worked with over the years.
Okay, let's not tell Eric I thought he was a kid, okay?
No, No, it's just the way he's brilliant at that because, like, you know, he's the one thing about Eric is that he's not just a bass player. He's actually a very skilled producer and an engineer, and he actually plays 7 different instruments, and he also has perfect pitch. He has an incredible singing voice.
So I saw the video for Cut the Cord, and it's really a straightforward performance video with lots of angles, lots of different filters, and you guys are basically just losing it while you play the set. What was the idea behind this video?
We had been gone from the public eye for roughly 18 months, and that was on purpose because we had finished the album cycle for for our last record, which was called Amaryllis, and it was time for us to go away because you have to go away for people to miss you. And with Cut the Cord, once the song was done, we were still in the studio recording the other songs at that point in time. But we wanted to do with that initial video was, you know, when we said we were going to do a performance piece, even our label and our management was kind of like, oh no, like not a performance piece. It's going to be boring. Nobody, you know, we got to do something that's a little bit more exciting. And I just said, you got to trust me on this because it won't be boring. But it needs to show the true, once again, talking about the aggressive nature of Cut the Cord. It's not so much the aggressive nature of it, it's the confidence. And what we wanted to show was the confidence of who we are as a band, and that the 4 of us, when you put us together, we kind of become one brain. And that's what we wanted to show with not only the brotherhood, but we wanted to show the grit. We wanted to show the not perfectly edged corners, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to show the attitude of the band, and that anyone that thought that maybe we missed a step or maybe we weren't as good as we once were, we're actually way better than we've ever been. And I think that shines through in the video. And it's just a very honest video, and I think it linked up and it locked into the song very well.
No, it did. And one of the things I like is at the very, very end of the video, you hear someone say, F that hurt. Who was that and what happened?
Oh, that was Zach. Well, the thing about the video, too, was what you're watching, that video itself, all the cameras were placed in the angles that they were going to shoot. There was like 6 cameras all laid out, and we only shot the video 3 times. So when we did it, what you're seeing is just pure, like, you know, director Darren Doan, who we've worked with on